My name is Ray Joyal. I'm the very proud president of Sowing Seeds of Hope here in Marshfield. Right now you are in the clothing bank of Sowing Seeds, which is located at the Sowing Seeds building on the corner of Plain Street and School Street in Marshfield. So in 1938, my parents bought a little house, a cottage in Kent Park for $500, extra lot of land next door for $200. And that's where I and my three older siblings spent our summers. I came along in 1946, so I've spent summers in Marshfield since the day I was born. In 1972, my wife and I were both teaching in Quincy, and we married, and we moved to Marshfield, first to an apartment, then we bought our first house. So I've been here full-time in Marshfield since 1972. We've raised 3 kids in Marshfield. I have a son and 2 daughters. They've all gone through the Marshfield Public Schools. And that's what brought me to Marshfield. My mother-in-law at the time was not very happy that we moved to Marshfield. We were both living in Dorchester at the time, and she thought it was the middle of nowhere. And she also said, keep in mind the name Marshfield has the word marsh in it, and your kids are going to get sick. But after a couple of years, she finally accepted the fact, and actually she loved coming down to visit. One of the memories I have of being in Marshfield in the summertime was on Saturday night, we'd all be given a quarter. I had cousins who also had a house in Kent Park, and we'd all be taken to Brent Rock. And that was our big treat on Saturday nights. We'd be given 25 cents. We'd go to Estes Candy Kitchen, which is no longer there, and buy their famous popcorn or their fudge. If had we more money, we'd go to Sandy's for fried clams. Sometimes we'd go to the bowling alley, which was downstairs. Upstairs was a movie theater, but Brent Rock was the place to be on Saturday nights. Unfortunately, it went downhill for a while, but it's gradually coming back, and that's a great thing to see. So Sowing Seeds was started officially, I guess, in 1993. At that time, all of the churches in Marshfield were all doing something for those in need. So in 1993, they all came together and said, what can we do together? So for 2 years, they talked about it, and on June 1st, 1995, Sowing Seeds took their very first call for help from a Marshfield client. Since that time, we've answered almost 12,000 calls for help. So that's where it really began. I retired about 13 years ago, and shortly after I retired, I got a call from a friend of mine who was on the board at the time of Sowing Seeds. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, why? I ended up becoming a volunteer driver, and then shortly afterwards became one of the transportation coordinators, and then took over transportation, and then I began working with intake, the intake committee, and about 4 years ago I was asked to become president. You know, in the past 13 years, I've found out just how generous people in Marshfield can be. We ask for a lot from the people. Just so you know, Sowing Seeds is 100% volunteer organization. Everything we do is provided free of charge to anybody who lives in Marshfield, and we do not accept any grants. So we depend on individuals and groups' private donations to keep us going. We go through a lot of money. We do a lot of different things. This is the most visible piece where we are right now, the clothing bank. Everyone knows about Sowing Seeds Clothing Bank. However, it's probably one of the minor pieces. The other thing to know is that Sowing Seeds will provide free transportation for you up to 3 times a month to medical appointments, Boston, South Shore, to shopping trips, whatever. And the biggest piece is called intake. Intake happens when someone has a need greater than either clothing or a ride. They call into the line. We have some 30+ intake workers. So we'll go out in pairs, and we do a very in-depth assessment of the client at their home to find out what they need, what we can do to help. So we help with rents, we help with car repairs, we'll pay utility bills, we'll pay medical bills, auto repair bills. We go through a lot of gift cards for food and for gas. And our goal is not simply to give them money. Our goal is to help them to begin to strategize how they can make their life better. Most of our clients remain with us for a number of years. Our intake workers constantly check back in with them. In most cases, eventually they become successful. And that's what we do. We also try to find furniture for people, and the people of Marshfield have been incredible at donating furniture and other things that our clients need, without question. And that's basically what I think Marshfield is. It's an extremely generous community, but all you have to do is ask. And I'm kind of hoping that we can get more people involved in more organizations. I mean, Sowing Seeds is one organization, but there are so many out there, from the Food Pantry to the Molly Fund, to the Good Neighbor Fund, to Kiwanis. People need to get involved and give back to the community. That's my gut feeling. It's just a great place to be, a great place for kids to grow up, and a great place to educate kids. You know, I would never leave this town. You know, we're in our house right now, and we're trying to make it so we can age in place, but I would never leave the town of Marshfield.